Right.
I've seen tweets of people saying it's the most bullish tweet he's ever said, I would say, in recent history. But he said a couple in the last couple months where I've been like, that's the most bullish thing I've seen. This one isn't number one now. Are we prisoner in the moment or what? But take a deep breath.
I think it is a very, very bullish. That's the one Hex Monkey was so fired up. He sent me a text message yesterday, right? I think it's very, very bullish. But this picture, what do you take this picture to be?
You know what? This picture reminds me of. Have you seen the show White Lotus?
I have not yet seen White Lotus, but I said that it reminded me of Stanley Kubrick.
Okay, it may be something there too. When I saw this, I thought of White Lotus. Like that theme song started playing in my head, and I was like, this is like some like interesting art, because they use a lot of type of art like that in the show as well. Great show, by the way, if anyone wants to watch it. Like all 3 seasons, fantastic. But it struck me as very confident. Like I don't know what's the monkey doing, right? Like, what does this mean? I've never seen it got this greeting card before, but just at face value, I'm like, bullish. Like that looks like a bullish. I don't know. Chat, what do you think? Face ripping, back ripping.
I'm not even sure both of those things are monkeys, for one, right?
That's true, I guess.
But the red one is definitely trying to kill the other one. Yeah.
Is this like a Neanderthal versus Homo sapien versus
That's what gave me the 2001 vibes, right? That's what the Stanley Kubrick thing was. And it looks like the one in the distance is a different species than those two.
So this is like we are not the same. Like we're gonna
maybe it is.
Like so we're that monkey. We're the.
I think that's PulseChain taking down giants, right?
Taking down giants. Okay, I like that. Whatever it was, I was like, this is confident, aggressive, bullish. They didn't quite try to figure out the narrative of the monkeys, but I could see that. I like that.
And the art is done in a style that
we're coming for you.
Seems like the Dark Ages, when they showed beheadings and guillotines and stuff like that, right? That the style of art is odd itself, just that whole thing.
That's what. So if you watch White Lotus, their theme song, it kind of has all these like imagery like this. And that's what I wonder if Richard, you watch White Lotus? Maybe
I gotta watch that now.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Hex G Baker said Grok said it was a humanoid creature attacking an abominable snowman. I think Grok might have got it mixed up. I'm pretty sure that's not the abominable snowman. However, maybe, I don't know.
Abominable snowmans have furry faces.
Is that the key distinction?
Yeah, that's 100% true. I've talked to people.
You've talked to people. I know some people who've identified the snowmen, the snow people.
Up in your neck of the woods, there's a lot of furry creatures. They're just not white.
They like to say Pacific Northwest. We like to talk about the Sasquatches. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of great quotes for this. Literally, I kind of want to make t-shirts just based on some of these quotes. I'll read the post just so people kind of get the emphasis of why we're so bullish on this as well. So crypto, what are you going to do when mass marketing starts ripping faces off? People are going to hear about PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex and pump.tires directly before they hear about anything else. They're going to hold something in their hands that works great and is impressive, something they're not going to throw away. Hex did a 10,000x in price the first time while being murdered with deca millions in fees to ETH. Now PulseChain exists, and when PLS goes up, Hex goes up. PLS, PLSX, Hex, pump.tires, they all reinforce each other. Coin burning everywhere you look. It's amazing. Dry powder ready to explode. The weak hands shaken out violently. Amazing designs and reliability with years of track record. The match is nearly struck. Be ready for greatness. And haters, you might as well get your memes ready because you're going to be very butthurt.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's go.
It's pretty. Why do you think he used decamillions instead of tens of millions?
I think he just has this style of writing where he's just like talking, and he just wants to say. I don't know if there's actually any meaning behind why he uses different words. Decamillions, is that like because he's trying to emphasize like 10,000 million X?
Tens of millions of dollars.
Tens of millions X? Like, is that the yeah?
And his season's greetings is the season alt season?
Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't even read into that. Season's greetings, alt season. Okay, PulseChain season. Well, another thing. People in the chat also mentioning no ink. He had 2 opportunities to mention ink. Well, yeah, I guess maybe one because these are all the tickers. This one was just kind of, I felt like this is more of like a platform thing. He wasn't really talking about tickers, but 1.5 chances to mention ink and did not mention ink, or just didn't want to.
We had this conversation the other day. Right, with Fast Abdullah and everybody, I don't think that he's definitely not a 95% whale in that token.
You think he'd only mention tokens he owns?
I think that he would mention tokens that are vital to the ecosystem, right? And ink being a reward token, it's not a duct tape token, but it's still a reward token. Yeah, it's not. I think PulseX has greater plans, right? Because right now, technically, ink is more useful than PulseX. PulseX buys and burns, does all that good stuff, right? But I think the future plans for PulseX are going to be great. Hex has a purpose on both chains. Pulse has a purpose on this chain. So yeah, I'm not sure why ink isn't mentioned.
There's a lot of great quotes from this, and maybe we'll dig into a couple. I think. So first, the first paragraph is just about like, hey, people are going to hear about marketing. We're about to do a massive marketing thing. They're going to get something they're not going to throw away. Kind of just a little bit of commentary on that. They're going to hold something in their hands that works great and is impressive. Works great kind of struck me as, so is this not like, the most common answer for what it's going to be is going to electronic postcard with bells and whistles or something. Works great and is impressive. That sounds more of like a functional device that people will use more than, hey, like why would a postcard need to work great, right? Like what you think there's something in that?
I do think there's something in that. It may not be a digital postcard to its truest form, right? That we've been cycling. Maybe there is something else it does, other than just play preloaded videos. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay. So if you're asking like, what else would it be that is functional and works great? You could say hardware wallet. You could say, I don't know, you can go flashlight. Like what would be, now we're getting back into this, like what else?
I still think it's that same form factor type of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Some type of miniature screen that's mailable because of the bubble wrap and all that good stuff. Yeah. You wouldn't have to have a very flat envelope with massive bubble wrap around it if it was a hardware device, honestly. Hardware wallet or anything else for that matter. So I still think it has a screen. I just don't know if preloaded videos are the only thing it does.
It is a mystery. Mystery is getting everyone to talk about it. He really is marketing genius. Like people forget how good he is and how long he can wait before a plan comes together.
I'll tell you one thing though. If that picture is preloaded on it and people open it and see that, half people will throw it away.
It's not going to be season's greetings.
Yeah, because I showed that picture to my wife, and she said that's creepy. I don't want to look at it anymore.
It is not the onboarding photo I think we're going to see. This is for the community. This picture is for the community to be like, hey, let's go. Like it's how can you not believe we're gonna get this thing done?
Yeah.
The other thing, so we did get a 10,000x mention while being murdered, where it's like if he's ETH, now it's this, goes to PulseChain. They all reinforce each other. Maybe he didn't mention ink because I guess ink reinforces. I've always said like ink has to have some sort of value because you got to farm it. If nobody's going to farm it, like there's not going to be any liquidity or farming if it doesn't have any value. So it's kind of for the liquidity dream of PulseChain to have this. I mean, I guess one day have this amazing liquidity story that's not like low like it is now because prices go up and more people bridge in, all that stuff. Some kind of stabilization and like just well-oiled machine, which I think is different than we have now. It's got to, I'm not saying it has to have a utility or a function, but it's got to be worth something too. So maybe it was just he didn't mention it because it was just in the context of, ink doesn't reinforce what I guess it enforces liquidity.
You want to know my honest opinion on it?
What's that?
My honest opinion on it is, having listened to Richard Hart since since prior to Sacrifice, right? I haven't listened since prior to Hex, but listening to Richard Hart for that period of time was quite a ways. I don't think he's into farming. I don't think he's pro farming. I think firing up a DEX was almost twisting his arm because he has to have one if he's going to have a chain. But if you listen to what he's said in the past, he's a buy and hold guy, right? I don't think he's even very much into liquidity pools or offering liquidity pools. But if he's going to be forced, his hand is going to be forced with a new chain, I think he wants to have the best one of those that he can, right? But if he's speaking from the heart in that paragraph, I don't think he is pro. I think he's just going from his core. He's not pro farming, and he's not. He thinks ink as a necessary evil. People are creating those unnecessarily complicated machines. I forget what they're called, right? I think
Rube Goldberg machines.
Rube Goldberg machine. And I think he thinks possibly ink is a part of one of those.
Heck Monkey said that artwork is from decades. Someone on Twitter said the artwork is from decades ago, added by Microsoft, and the stock was low, right before it mooned, and very probably interesting. I'm sure there's some symbolism, even probably beyond the confidence and aggression. Yeah, just on the farm. People probably forgot at this point because he's bold posted about ink before and talked about how it could be leverage on Pulse and PulseX and all that stuff. He's talked about that, in the last year or two. But before that, before PulseChain and PulseX launched, he said he basically didn't care about ink. It was his least favorite token. Like he didn't care about it that much. So I don't know. It's always because he has changed his mind or at least changed his public presentation on different ideals. At least we thought that he thought before too on different topics. So I don't know what he thinks about ink.
He even mentioned pump tires, buddy, and didn't mention ink.
Well, that's why I think, again, the logical piece of me is like, maybe he is literally just like, he's trying to complete this sentence. He's trying to say, these are the things that reinforce each other. Maybe it's just literally, he's just like, yeah, ink doesn't reinforce the other stuff.
It's not a tool like the others, right? Is what
it's different than another. Yeah. Maybe it's that.
Yeah. Hex Monkey, if that's freaking true, buddy, that makes that picture even more creepy. If that's a Microsoft picture, because I'm not a big fan of Microsoft, and that makes everything else even 10 times worse.
You don't have to be a fan of Microsoft to profit from price go up. So
no, you don't. 100%.
So another piece on this, dry powder ready to explode. What does that mean? Is he making any references to anything other than what he believes people are going to do with these tokens?
I think that it infers that people will take that as his dry powder, right? But I think everybody should take it as everybody's dry powder, whether it was spent prior to now or from now until this run is over. But everybody is probably referring to his ETH.
I think, yeah, part of it could be referring to that ETH. I don't know. I take it as just like he thinks macro is retail's coming in. He thinks macro is looking good and retail's coming in. That's the dry powder ready to explode.
That's what I hope, buddy. I think he's gearing towards that 100%.
It really does seem like perfect timing where, if the plan is to, okay, let's do marketing, get everyone excited. Oh, prices went up, because whatever, the price is going up for whatever reason, whales are buying or people are buying now and people are entering in. We've seen, again, the Hex go up, did like a 2X and it seemed like no time as well recently. That I keep saying this. I think it'll be obvious when it happens. When the glory run happens, we'll look back and be like, oh yeah, it was obvious, like it was going to happen. In the meantime, though, in the process of it happening, it really does feel like, I don't want to say this time is different because how many times have we seen pumps and they just get sold back down over time? I don't know. It just seems like the whole environment has changed, not only for PulseChain, but for like crypto. And I think we're benefiting from that, but also Richard's being super bullish too. Do you feel something?
If you remember when PulseChain first launched and we had that big dip and then we started seeing those giant buys and things got very, very heated and I would say this weekend was the closest we've got to that in a very long time. I don't even think that I'm not positive that any of Richard Hart's money was even involved in any of the pump this weekend. I think that was retail. What do you think? Have you heard different? Have you seen any action, or has there been any Twitter chatter about Richard Hart's wallets participating in this weekend's from the buy side?
I'll tell you my first couple of thoughts on that is when it was happening, I was like, man, I wish I was looking for, hey, some TA person, can you tell me what's going on? Like I usually not like looking for a lot of TA stuff. I'm like, I wonder, is there, what are the stats? What are the buys and sells? Who's doing it? Because usually you're seeing it from, a lot of really, a lot of TA or chain analysis people on the X talking about this stuff. I haven't seen a lot. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've seen something, at me or Triple Dad on Twitter and let us know. But so I haven't seen a lot from other people yet. And then I was thinking, do you remember a while back when some of the what was it? Some of the funds were tornado cashed out or something like that. And then I was like, if it is, the OA or otherwise, I wonder if some of those are coming back and those are the wallets that are buying, and we're getting like kind of another test pump, another liquidity injection from that. If it is, because that was, I don't know, I can't remember exactly. It was a few $1 million or so.
Yeah.
So part of me thought about that as well.
Are you talking about the tokens that he received for doing those big chunks of PDI? Because there's those funds too.
I just remember that I saw something. I don't have the link in front of me, but I saw something where either part of this, no, the ETH. Remember, that's why there's 166,000 ETH instead of 171.
Yeah.
Because is it related to that? I can't remember exactly. Maybe don't quote me on that, but something around that. I think some of it was bridged out in a private way. And then after that happened, I was like, I wonder, did that go to paying devs or something? Or did it go to, hey, we're going to use this later strategically? So part of me thought, hey, the pump may be some of that coming that's less traceable, and we're getting injection and stuff from there. The other part is just like, what if it is just whales who are like, they see all the stuff heating up and they are just entering because they know that, or they believe the price could go a little higher, and they're trying to front run, the mega marketing. They're trying to front run retail coming in. They're trying to front run all the things that all that makes sense too. So
yeah,
I'm not sure yet. Yeah.
I think it was primarily retail, honestly. In retail, I mean,
might be time.
Be some of our whales, and by retail, I'm saying it's not 95% Richard Hart, right? I think that was our whales and our community members and people that are outside of our community coming over to PulseChain. You could tell by by Liberty Swap's ratios, right? How much money is coming in versus going out. Same thing with the PulseChain bridge, right? How much is coming in, how much is going out. There's definitely more coming in than going out. So I would say it's retail.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think whether it's one or the other, or one comes first, the other kind of like whatever it is. I mean, it's all gravy here. It's like price goes up, green candles, we get more green candles. Like, you know, we talked about the chicken and egg thing of how do we get people to PulseChain without them hearing about PulseChain when green candles are the best marketing, and then we can't get those because they haven't came in. It's like the whole circular deal. Like, let's break the loop. Let's get out of the loop one way or another, and so we can go up.
I think the ETH price going up has up the timeline for everything, right? It's dragging everything up. People are getting excited.
ETH has been going up 3,900 something right now. So just maybe one or two more points on this, and we'll move on. Weak hands shaken out violently. Is he referring to the last 2 years? Or something to come, or we're going to shake more?
I think that the violently is like when Pulse started with a 1 for a couple of like a couple of minutes, right? There has been some very violent downturns, and just like you said, up to 3.5 or 0.35, almost at 4, then bam, down to freaking 2.3 or 1.9, right? In a couple of cases. So yeah, I believe that violent. He's right.
I think so many over the last, I don't know. So many people, I think, at this point have been convinced that PulseChain's not really a good idea. Oh, it has nothing to offer over ETH. Oh, Hex isn't as cool as I thought. Oh, this community can't keep it together. Richard's never coming back. He's just left everyone, and all these different pieces. And to me, it's always like, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, I'm sticking with my thesis. This is the greatest ecosystem on earth. RH wants glory. I want to help. Let's go. Just put your head down, get to work. You do the work, right?
I don't see any other ecosystem where the founder, even when he's involved in a court case, has so much of a hand in everything that goes on, right? And he's getting fired up right now. The leash has been taken off of him, I think, by attorneys and such. So after we passed that last date, which was at the beginning of this month, I believe, right? I think it's a no holds barred, and there is no other founder in all of crypto that does what Richard Hart does if he's free to do it. None.
It is. I don't know. Just doubting it just seemed like it just never seemed to make sense. Maybe I tried. Maybe it's just where I try to not make emotional decisions, especially in this community and with crypto and stuff. I'm always like, no, what makes sense? Let me go with that. And of course, from time to time, it's like, oh, this sucks. Like, why is it taking so long? Why, like, oh, we got hit with another fucking train wreck here, but it's just like, I don't know. Just, I'm here to win. So I think it really is the mindset of like, are you here to win or are you here to complain?
Right.
I'm here to win. So let's go.
We've seen a lot of people on Twitter switch to bullish instead of their mediocre posts lately, which is pretty cool.
I can't stop posting Hex price chart thing or Hex memes recently. So if you follow me for the last 12 hours, I was like, oh, here's another good one. Oh, here's another one. Let's go. I'm excited.
You were going full tilt with bullish pictures for the last weekend, buddy. Yeah. It was awesome.
I just get in the mood sometimes. I happen to get in the mood pretty regularly these days for the bull posting. The match is nearly struck. Be ready for greatness. The match is nearly. I kind of want that shirt. I want the shirt that says the match is nearly struck. It's got a little PulseChain flame on it.
Oh cool. Yeah. Would have to be one of those pictures like of an old time matchbox, right? With a match drawn against the striker with a couple of sparks, and that matchbox says PulseChain. I just gave you all the prompts you need to make that picture, buddy.
There you go. Take that prompt to your favorite AI.
Yeah.
10 variations. I like to do 10, 20, 50 variations. Pick the best one. There's a little pro tip.
There you go.
I was scrolling down. I saw Coffee's comment. It's funny.
Coffee's a nut.
We didn't take that into account. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a female Yeti. I can't tell.
Yeah, yeah. Do Yetis have genders? I'm not sure. I'm not a Yeti expert. Could be.
The Patterson Gimlin film that was taken up by your neck of the woods was a female Yeti.
Oh, okay. There is proof of 100%. Magical creatures having different things there. Okay.
See me knowing more about the Pacific Northwest than my resident Pacific Northwest expert.
You've been hitting the nail on the head on those. I got to study up on my lore.
There you go. Lore.
I've been doing too much crypto. I haven't kept up with the lore.
There you go.
Match is nearly struck.
I like that sentence. My favorite sentence in the whole thing.
That's your favorite sentence?
Yeah.
Nearly struck. So I mean okay. So if you look at that, we've had the prices go up. Talked about that. Community's getting more bullish. Ethereum's doing what it's doing. Macros. So it's not struck. It's not the match is struck. The match is nearly struck. So it still sounds like I want to interpret that as once mega marketing kicks off, once those 200,000 mailers go out, maybe that's the struck part. What do you think is the struck part?
I think it is the marketing.
You think it's what?
Yeah, I think it's going to take 3 weeks of floating on a boat for that match to strike.
Here 3 more weeks.
Yeah, I think once that comes out, I think that boat not only is like a project for the community to do with mailers and stuff, mailing stuff out and everything. I think that triggers other things. I'm still a firm believer that the stuff that's being mailed out is not the end all be all. I think this is a multifaceted plan. I think other things happen when the boat lands besides the stuff on the boat getting sent out to new customers, whether that's green candles, whether that's single side staking on PulseX, like on testnet, right? I think other things start to happen. If you have single sided staking on PulseX, buddy, for PulseX tokens, what happens then? The scarcity of PulseX and people start getting some APR. You have the perfect engine there to create a party token. Remember the party token that you were rewarded for single sided staking. You have a perfect engine for that and pump tires of making party tokens for freaking ever, right? It feeds itself. So I'm really excited about that whole thing. I think once the match strikes, the boat lands, the stuff gets sent out, I think there's an order of operations to this where it just builds and builds and builds. And I think there's going to be green candles thrown in the midst of all of that.
I think if we have the prices going up, we have some green candles. The TA looks good. Macro looks good. Marketing is happening.
Yeah.
How is that not the plan? Like, that sounds like a great plan to me.
Yeah, that's what I would do. If I was RH, I think RH has a freaking solid head on his shoulders. Yeah. The only thing that throws a monkey wrench into that is if there's freaking missiles going back and forth between countries that don't affect us usually, right?
Do not jinx us. Knock on some wood right now.
so off the wall, freaking Thailand and Cambodia throwing missiles at each other in tanks and stuff. It's just, there's stuff that always happens that is very unanticipated, not anticipated, right?
Sir, I would like about 3 white swans, no more black swans, please.
That's what I'm hoping for. I think we've had our fair share. And then if you go